Hi everybody! Today, me and my mom are going to record for our podcast, Kintsugi Conversations. We just officially launched last week, so we're super excited. We're going to be recapping our launch party and just kind of sharing a little bit about how that went for us, as well as recording a brand new episode. And I thought I would take you guys along with us, as well as show you some never before seen footage from our launch party. So this is kind of our recording setup for today.
Hi!
As you guys can see, of course, we have laptop and microphone. We will also be using 2 tripods with cameras. This camera will go on a tripod as well as another camera, and so we can get all of the footage that we need. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go. Hello everybody, and thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode, what is this, 4?
I think it is number 4.
Episode 4 of Kintsugi Conversations. Can you believe, Mom, that it's been 4 episodes already?
I know, time is moving fast, but I'm still super excited.
I know. So at the time when we are recording this episode, it has been almost 1 week since we officially launched our party and had our launch party. Of course, we pre-record a little bit, so by the time this episode is actually released, it will have been a few weeks. However, I wanted to take a minute to just kind of like recap the launch party.
Sure, that was fun.
For being here, I'm Allison, and my mom, Cindy, is in the back getting her permit. We are the hosts of Kintsugi Conversations, which will be officially launching in 44 minutes, apparently. Thank you guys so much for coming and just being here to celebrate with us tonight. We really appreciate it, and it's all about legacy, so it's so amazing to see so many generations represented. We have the little ones. We have, am I middle-aged? We have the middle-aged. And then we have the people that are a little bit more mature, a little bit more seasoned, but we appreciate you guys all being here. We invite you to mix, mingle, drink, eat. Please go get permanent jewelry. Just kind of walk around, hang out. We will be doing some discussion questions in a few moments. Harper's is only people in her family can come up here, but you're more than welcome to mix and mingle elsewhere. And I'm about to show the kids a little slime activity we have for them. So let's see it, guys. How does it feel? Can you pull it all out?
This slime is stuck.
Can you get it? You need help?
Help getting it over.
So we put together the launch party kind of last minute, to be honest, but we decided that we really needed to do something to celebrate and commemorate the launch of our podcast. So we brought together an intimate group of I'd say about 30.
Yeah, I think so. 30 to 50 people.
About 30 to 50 mothers and daughters of all ages, and we came together and we had so much fun just like having conversation, a few cocktails. The kids did crafts and ran around like crazy animals.
Harper kind of stole the show.
As she always does, but it was just so nice to get to, be together and have some of the conversations that we will have on the podcast this season, live and in living color, with community. What did you think of the party?
I think it was really great. And what I really liked about it was that we had people from all generations. Like, I think we even had a couple that was like me, you, and Harper. It was like the grandmother, the mom, and then the daughter. So I thought that was really, really cool. And I always think it's cool when, there are people that are, my age, and then they have their daughters who are your age, because I can give my perspective about things, but it's also fun to see what other people think about what we're talking about as well.
Exactly. I thought it was really fun to just kind of have these conversations from a multi-generational perspective, like you're saying. Mm-hmm. You guys, there were a few, different sets of families or guests where it was like the grandmother, the daughter, and then the granddaughter. So we had a lot of, examples of kind of the multi-generational perspective that we work so hard to share here. And that was absolutely amazing to have, in person for a change. I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually like looking forward to our next event. I think we might have something else up our sleeve.
Okay, I think that'll be really, really fun. We also had some new moms there. I saw a couple of moms there that had like little babies, and they said to me, I know my daughter's a little young yet, but I love the concept that you all have come up with, and this is something that I want to carry on with my daughter. So even though she's an infant, I want to go ahead and just bring her out to be a part of this. So I thought that was really great too.
For sure. We we had food, and when we officially like pushed launch on the podcast, we popped confetti poppers, or we tried
some people popped some confetti poppers.
Ended up being like trickier to pop than we thought they were, so it was a little bit of a process. However, confetti was popped.
That's right.
And I don't know, it was just great to be able to celebrate. Harper was super excited, her friends were super excited, and it seemed like they actually understood what was going on, which was interesting too.
I think so too, because there was even like at one point the little girls, Harper and her friends, they were just kind of sitting and watching us, and then every now and then I would see them kind of lean over and have their own little conversation. So I would be curious as to what they were talking about.
Yeah, same. What was your favorite part of the launch party?
I think my favorite part of the launch party was when we did kind of our little Q&A.
Yeah.
We kind of pulled some questions out of a bowl, and you answered the questions, some questions, I answered some questions, but then we also asked our audience members what they thought, and we got some very good feedback, and I was really excited that people were very engaging with us.
Yeah, that was actually my favorite part too, was when we did the live Q&A, because we actually had questions in the question bowl that relate to topics that we're going to be talking about this season. So to be able to have some of those conversations with other women was amazing.
Yay. All right, so that was our official trailer. I am just going to.
I want to sit next to Lila.
Why don't you come sit Lois here and Lila will sit with us?
You can definitely sit next to Lila.
Why don't you guys share?
We're all moms, most of us here, so you guys know this one. So we're just going to pick some questions out of the discussion bowl to kind of answer. We would love open dialogue, so please don't have us like up here being the only ones talking. We will like kind of share our answer, but then we're going to ask you guys to share, and we would love it if you actually did. You want to pick first one? Sure.
What could your generation stand to learn from the younger generation?
Me to answer first. Okay, so we have a lot of members of the said younger generation in here, including my daughter. And I love how these girls are
So thirsty.
so confident and so themselves. I think they're so thirsty. Maybe you could get some punch. Maybe Miss Frida will help you get a little water. So confident, so outspoken. As you saw, they don't care who's watching, and they're just themselves. I feel like, yes, they're young. Most of these girls are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, around that age. You have one or two that are a little older, but the confidence that they exude is something that I think that our generation could definitely learn from. I watched my daughter just be just herself, like no matter who she's around, no matter who's watching her, and that's something that I think that our generation, when I say our, I mean those of us that are in our 30s, could definitely learn. I feel like we kind of, I won't say we were taught to dumb ourselves down, but we kind of learned to like make ourselves small in certain settings, especially, those of us that maybe grew up in settings where we might have been the minority, and I feel like our daughters are not doing that, and I love it.
For me, I would say that from the younger generation, and I'm speaking about now you millennials, my generation could learn to be a little bit more fearless. You guys do not mind putting yourselves out there. You take risks that we play it safe. We always want to make sure we could, provide and just do everything according to this big plan that we always thought it had to be. And you guys are just so fearless. You take chances. If you fail at it, you just take that lesson and you revamp yourself and you just keep coming back. And I love the fearlessness.
Thank you. So, what do you guys think? What could your generation, whatever that generation is, learn from the younger generation?
Anybody?
Anybody?
Well, I think that for my generation, that if you don't continue to learn and observe and, apply some of the things that you see, you just get stale and old. And like me and Cindy, we're going to stay fierce. We're going to keep it moving, even though we're grandmothers. But in our minds, we don't really see ourselves that way. So just like you still see yourself at 20, even though you're 30 and married, you still feel that 20-year-old in there. Well, we're not going back that far. But just to be able to be cute and enjoy life, you want to do it.
And I think my two favorite questions were, the first was when the question got raised, like, what do you think our generation, or whatever your generation is, what do you think that your generation could learn from the younger generation?
Right.
And so it gave like you an opportunity to share what your generation could learn from my generation, and then it gave my generation the chance to share what we could learn from our daughter's generation. So I thought that was like really powerful. And a few people after the Q&A wrapped up came up to me and kind of shared their responses to that as well. And I think overall, it seems like we all, no matter what our ages are, really admire the confidence of like Harper's generation and how they're just unapologetically themselves. So I enjoyed that. And then, Mom, I don't know if you remember, but the last question that we asked actually got everybody talking, which was really fun. It was, what things or in what areas of your life could you use help, but you're reluctant to ask?
Right.
And
that was a really good one.
It definitely struck a chord with a lot of women because there was a lot of conversation on that. And so I think that we need to have an episode on that really, really soon, because obviously there's a lot to discuss there.
I agree with that. That was a good question. And like you said, we got a lot of feedback on that one.
Yeah. And, the support that we had that night just goes to show that, you build your family and you build your community. And I'm really thankful that we have kind of built a community of mothers, daughters, grandmothers, of all generations that come together and support us, because I think that support is important as we all just try to do life and do motherhood and do womanhood together.
Right, I agree. And I also like that, people are looking for other ways to handle issues. Like we always say, parenthood, life, whatever, there's no cookie cutter, there's no instruction manual. So I really like that we're all coming together. Like you said, we're learning from each other, asking questions. Well, how did you handle this when your kid was this age? How would you handle this in the future? So I think that's a really, really great dynamic. And like I said, a really great village that we're forming. For sure.
And, it kind of brings me into the topic of our episode today, because I feel like one thing that I have learned as an adult, am I a young adult, a middle-aged adult? What am I? How do I even classify myself these days, guys?
I have no idea.
One thing that I've learned, though, in the past, I'd say 5 to 7 years, is that we build our family. Like we can choose. We can choose who we want to surround ourselves with. We can choose who we want in our kids' lives. And we have the power to kind of build the community that we need, as opposed to just solely relying on, the people that maybe share our blood or share our last name. And today we're going to be talking about estranged family, which is a really heavy topic, to be honest. However, it's a topic that we can both relate to. We've both had experiences with, making decisions to cut off family members. And I actually just came across one of the family members that I made the decision to cut off the other day. So this is very timely because I just saw that person. We were both at another family member's house, kind of in passing. I was going and this person was coming. But it's always very awkward. I don't know that it ever won't be awkward, but yeah, it's honestly a perfect day to have this conversation.
Okay, well, you didn't tell me about this encounter, so I'm excited to hear about this.
Yeah.